Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel where we talk about fragrances. My name is Helena and today we are going to talk about fragrances that I think are perfect for New Year's Eve. So today we are not talking about light fragrances. They will be all pretty punchy. And so if you're interested, keep on watching. Consider subscribing to my channel. Hit the notification bell down below if you want to get notified every time I post a video. Hit a like if you like my content and maybe leave a comment. So let's get started. So for New Year's Eve, I hope you appreciate my outfit. I'm sorry about my location. I'm sorry about my camera. Right now it's everything that I can afford, but yeah, little disclaimer, closed. So the first fragrance is one that is often compared to Rouge Malachite by Armani Privé. And I have to say, I'm not a huge fan of Rouge Malachite and I'm not a huge fan of Alien or all that kind of very indolic white flower jasmine fragrances. But this one I actually like and I actually enjoy, and this is Dolce & Gabbana, the only one intense. You will probably already heard talking about this, and this is really a sexy but also strong kind of fragrance. It's like for the strong woman who knows what she wants, and in this case she wants to party for New Year's Eve. And yeah, you can absolutely smell the white flowers. For me, they're not particularly indolic, and I really like the mix with this dry coconut note that I don't think it's similar to Crystal Noir by Versace, as a lot of people seem to think. To me, this is very different. This is something a little bit nostalgic for me. I think that when I was young, there was some kind of fragrance that was pretty similar to this one, and I associated with a very sexy and, I don't know, strong woman, probably dressed all in black. Maybe it's the bottle that influenced me, but yeah, this is my idea. And so if you like white flowers, if you like more sweet but still edgy fragrances, I think that this is a good deal. And this is also on the more affordable designer side of fragrances, if you know what I mean. And I think it's perfect for New Year's Eve because it's strong, it's long lasting, it has a huge sillage and a huge projection. It's a really nice fragrance for, and I wouldn't say affordable price, but a good price. Now we have something with a similar vibe to Dolce & Gabbana, the only one in tons, and this is very different, but still to me it has something similar to the last fragrance I talked about, and this is L'Interdit Intense, always intense, by Givenchy. And this is still a white flower. I think that it's a tuberose actually, with vanilla, with a ton of vanilla and sesame seeds. And sesame seeds are currently being taken out of the market because a lot of people developed an allergy to sesame seeds. So I think that this could be one of those fragrances that will be discontinued, but this is heavenly. This smells like a heavenly poison, if there is something like that. And yeah, it's a little bit bitter, I think, because of the white flowers, but it's also very warm and nutty, and the vanilla will balance that kind of bitterness that I generally associate with white flowers. And it's very dark. I think that it's a dark fragrance. It's for the, I don't know, the goth, but also the femme fatale that will murder you in the middle of New Year's Eve. I don't know why, but yeah, and this is absolutely lovely. And the sesame seeds in here are so nice, and I love them, and I hope that they will find something that smells exactly like them but won't provoke any allergy in anyone. So yeah, I absolutely recommend L'Interdit by Givenchy, but the intense version. The Eau de Parfum, it's the classical original version. It's still nice, but it's very white flower heavy, and it's not as strong as this one, and it's not as balanced in my opinion, or as warm or enveloping. This is also a little bit like this is also a little bit lactonic, of course, because it's nutty. It has white flowers, it has vanilla, so this concoction of nutty notes and white flowers becomes pretty lactonic, even if there's no actual milk note in this. So check it out. Let's go a little bit more towards the niche side, and I have a pretty strong and also a little bit mysterious and androgynous kind of fragrance that has been released, I think, just this year. And this is, I have the sample. This is Mandorle or Mandorle. I'm not sure if it's in French or Italian, but it's from Dora. And this is a leathery gourmand. And it reminds me a little bit of Herod by Parfum de Marly, but with a very strong leather note. And I'm not a huge fan of leather, I have to be absolutely fair. To me, it's a little bit too animalic. It reminds me a little bit of a shoe shop. And nothing bad with a shoe shop, but I don't want necessarily to smell like a shoe shop. I don't know why I'm keeping on repeating shoe shop. I will say it again, shoe shop. Anyway, this doesn't smell like a shoe shop. It smells like a very sexy woman, maybe with a leather jacket or a suede pair of high knee boots with a very high heel, and it's still a gourmand. I wouldn't say that it's a super sweet, edible gourmand at all, but it's still sweet. You have to like gourmand fragrances still to like this, but I don't think that you have necessarily to like leathery fragrance to enjoy it. And this is very sexy, very much, I think, for a dominatrix kind of woman, and in my opinion it's still appropriate for New Year's Eve because it will last forever, it will project a lot, and it will leave a sillage behind you. So it's a very, very nice fragrance, and it's a little bit more on the expensive side, but I think that you don't need to spray a lot of it, and so it's still worth it. But I don't know, I would say try to sample it as I did on Jevois or Jovoy, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Yeah, Mandorle or Mandorle, I'm not sure. Now let's talk about a brand that I already talked about in my Christmas fragrances video. That was also my first video. And this is L'Herbolario Lodi. It's a little bit difficult to find if you're not in Italy, but I think that it's still worth it. And I have a very androgynous fragrance that it's pretty warm and enveloping. And this is Ambraliquida, the Parfum by L'Herbolario Lodi. And this is an ambery fragrance, as you could have guessed by the name, Ambra. And yeah, this is very warm, but it's like it has still some cleanness about it. I don't think that it's overwhelmingly sweet. I think, and it's not super thick. It's thick, but not a thickness that can get you stomach aches or headaches. And it's really delicious. And to me, it smells like a warm bath. Like in the middle of the winter, all of your muscles are sore because of the cold, and you get this warm bath, and you prefer a bath form that has more of a spicy, warm fragrance scent to it. And I think that this could be the kind of scent, but it's not soapy at all. It's not soapy. It has just some kind of cleanness. It's a little bit clean, but it's still strong. It projects a lot. It's pretty affordable as a brand. It's not necessarily a niche brand. It's more like L'Occitan, or I don't know, those kind of shops that sell natural things and body creams, all hygiene products, but that are just their own brand. And yeah, they do also perfumes. And it's this one, I think that costed me something like 24 euros, more or less. I'm not really sure, I don't remember, but yeah, check it out. And no one will probably wear it because it's very unique and it's not as known as a brand as a lot of other brands. So check it out. Ambraliquida by L'Herbolario Lodi. I have one of my favorite fragrances, and this is a Tom Ford one, and it is Tom Ford Noir pour Femme. I absolutely love it, and I'm heartbroken because it is, I think, discontinued right now. And this is a lovely, spicy, woody, but also lactonic, nutty fragrance. This has a coffee note in it, and coffee is a pistachio ice cream, I think, from the Middle East. And this is strong. This is a little bit mature, probably. You cannot probably be like a 14 years old or a 20, even just a 20 years old girl to wear it and to appreciate it. But when you get a little bit more acquainted to stronger fragrances, to more complex fragrances, you will absolutely love it. And this is part of their designer line. It has a pretty normal price range. It's still a little bit on the higher price range, but not as their private line. And this is, I don't know, this is for sexy, very assertive, but also warm kind of woman. I don't know, the kind of woman that gives you tough love, or even, I don't know, someone that seems a little bit harsh, but it's really very nourishing. And I absolutely love it. And I think that it's obviously perfect for New Year's Eve because it's a strong, warm fragrance and it lasts a long time. It projects a lot, as all the fragrances that I'm talking about today. So that's it. All the fragrances that I'm going to talk about today are very strong, are very long lasting, and are very out there. And this is a very out there fragrance. This is probably discontinued, I think. So check out also the Noir Extreme or Extreme. I'm not sure. And they are pretty similar. The Noir Extreme is a little bit more spicy, I think. Has a little bit, I think, of sandalwood. I'm not sure. While this is a little bit more floral, but you don't really smell a lot of white florals, in my opinion. They just give it a milkiness with the coffee note. And overall, I don't know, to me it's a pretty milky fragrance. And I really adore it. I absolutely adore it. So check it out, or check out the Noir Extreme version. The normal Noir, it's still very good, but it's something totally different. It has a totally different scent profile. So, Noir pour Femme by Tom Ford. Now, the next one, it's also from a niche house, but that is pretty affordable for a niche house. And I have a sample that it's absolutely lovely, incredibly lovely, and this is Graines de Soleil by Fragonard. And Fragonard is this niche brand from Grasse, so it's right in the place where fragrances are made. And this one in particular, it's pretty similar to Alien, the scrotum one. I don't know. Alien Fusion. No, it wasn't Alien Fusion. You know, the ambery butt kind of alien. Yeah, that one. And this is very similar. It's a little bit more ambery. I don't smell a lot of white florals in this. I have just the tiny bottle because I'm not necessarily a super fan of this scent profile, but I think that if I smelled it in the streets, I would think that the person wearing it was very strong and sexy and assertive and out there. So it's perfect, in my opinion, for New Year's Eve. It's still sexy. It's not something that I particularly like, but I absolutely appreciate the quality behind it. And of course, you cannot buy any more Alien, that one that I will put there how it's named. I think it's Alien Fusion. No, it's not Alien Fusion. I'm so sorry. I cannot remember it for the life of me. This is very, very similar without going for a dupe house. And so, yeah, check it out. It's also pretty affordable. I think that the full bottle of it will cost something like 40 euros. Yeah, this is a lovely brand. Absolutely lovely. Just check on Fragonard and check on Graines de Soleil. This is very good. It's not necessarily my taste of fragrance, but it's still very good. Let's get back to a designer fragrance. And this is for the very gourmand, sweet, punchy fragrance lovers. This is like super syrupy. And this is Girl of Now by Elie Saab. I love it. I put a huge dent in it. Of course, it's the 30 ml bottle, but it's still a huge dent. And this is a almondy, orange blossom, very extremely syrupy sweet fragrance. I don't know. In my opinion, this has something like carnal about it, but I don't know why. Maybe the first time I wore it, I was in a very, I don't know, kinky mood. I'm not sure, but yeah, associated with a very nourishing but also sensual woman. And this is eternal. This will last you, like, on me, it lasts something like 12 to 14 hours. And it's so strong. It's extremely, extremely strong and punchy. And yeah, it's on the same vein of all the Black Opium, the only one, the classic one from Dolce & Gabbana, those syrupy designer kind of fragrances. But this is, I don't know, this is one that I still don't smell a lot in the streets. And I don't know, it's just very special. Also the bottle, I love this bottle. It's a little bit, I don't know, it's a little bit Art Deco, I think. It's so classic, and I love these petals around it. I love the color. I love everything about this bottle. And so, but you have to really like sweet, super sweet, syrupy, thick fragrances. This is a bomb. This is a bomb. A tiny, lovely bomb. And so, really, this is perfect for winter. In my opinion, it's perfect for New Year's Eve, because maybe you will eat a lot of sweet treats to celebrate. And so this will be something that will be noticed. Absolutely. So check it out. Girl of Now by Elie Saab. I don't know why I said sad. By Elie Saab. Now, the last two fragrances, I often layer them, but I think that they are perfect even just by themselves alone. And they happen to be niche, and also I think a little bit expensive, especially the first one. And the first one is Lune Féline by Atélier. And I really love this bottle. I don't know, it's a little bit retro. This whole design is so luxurious, and also the cap, it's so heavy. Unfortunately, I can smell it from there, like from there I can smell it, and yeah, it's super strong. This is a very, very strong vanilla, but a spicy, almost leathery vanilla fragrance. And I know I told you that I don't like leather, but this is one kind of leather that I can actually appreciate. It's not super animalic leather, but it's still a very beautiful leather that it's perfectly mixed with the vanilla. I'm sorry, but my sprayer, I think that it came broken, but I don't know, it still sprays. It's this is so good. This is so refined, and this is for a sexy woman that is still not super loud. I mean, she's loud with her personality, but she's not like screaming. She doesn't scream, but she's there, and you know that she's there, and everyone around her know that she's there. And she was Lune Féline. This is still for the femme fatale, in my opinion, but it's maybe a little bit more of a mature femme fatale. I don't necessarily think a super young girl wearing Lune Féline, but she knows what she wants. She is sensual, but a kind of very high-end sensuality with, I don't know, maybe it's just because this is so expensive that to me it smells high-end. So this is for a very refined but sensual woman with, I don't know, I imagine her with a very fancy red coat, maybe because I always wear it with my fancy red coat. And I don't know, whenever I wear it, I feel so bougie, but also very beautiful. A beautiful, sexy, bougie woman. And so, yeah, I absolutely recommend it. So this is Lune Féline by Atélier des Ors. And finally, the one that I layer very often with Lune Féline, it's not necessarily considered by many a wintry fragrance. It is actually more, most people think that it is a summery fragrance because it has Ylang in it. But to me, it smells very similar to a fragrance that I always wore in winter. And this is Ylang in Gold Nectar. This is the Nectar one. And I think that, why the gold doesn't... Gold. You can see gold. Anyway, by Micallef. And this reminds me a lot, of course, of Cashmere by Chopard, that it's a lot cheaper, but this is a lot more unique and refined. Of course, it costs a lot of money. Of course, if you cannot afford it, just go with Cashmere by Chopard. I think that on Notino it's something like 20 euros for the 100 ml bottle, maybe even a little bit less than 20 euros, and it smells very similar to this. This has a little bit more of a florally note to it, but they are still, in my opinion, pretty warm fragrances. And this is pretty warm. It's of course summer appropriate because it has this kind of ylang notes that are very tropical, but the vanilla in it, it's so warm and enveloping and sexy, and I absolutely love layering it with Lune Féline. They are beautiful together, absolutely beautiful. They make me feel even more bougie and more sexy and more beautiful. And yeah, this, and also all the both of them have gold in some form in the bottle. I don't think that the gold is absolutely necessary, but you know, it's fancy, it's bougie. But yeah, it's not necessary, but I like it. I like watching at this kind of bottles. And the cap is a little bit hard. This is so beautiful, and I recommend the Nectar version. It only comes in the 30 ml bottle, but you don't need to spray a lot of it. I think that most of the times I just spray 3 times, but because I like to overspray fragrances that I particularly like, and I want to smell a lot on myself. But yeah, you can get away with just 1 spray because it's so strong. And oh my god, this is so beautiful. This is a beautiful fragrance. So I think that it works well with a cold weather, of course, but being also a pretty tropical kind of fragrance, I think that if you are from a warm place where during New Year's Eve it's still pretty hot outside, this will be absolutely perfect. It will last forever. It will project like crazy. As I said, for all these fragrances, they will last forever. They will project like crazy. They are very out there, and this is absolutely beautiful and sexy and lovely, and I don't know, this will make you feel very, very bougie also because of the gold flakes and because it's niche. So this is a beautiful fragrance. It will make you smell absolutely marvelous. And yeah, check it out. Check it out, or just try with Cashmere by Chopard, but Cashmere, it's not as strong, it's not as projecting, but it's very similar. It's like 95, 92, I would say 92% similar, almost identical, but not totally. So check it out. Ylang in Gold by Micallef. So guys, that was it. As always, consider subscribing to my channel. Maybe leave a like down below if you liked my video. Maybe leave a comment and tell me what fragrance you're going to wear and maybe what kind of videos you want me to do in the future. I would love to know, and I will try to leave all the links to the fragrances that I talked about in the description down below. See you and see you the next time. Bye.